What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to today's live. You're locked in with the Coach Smook Network, and I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. Before we get rolling, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button, share the stream out, and if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss any of the action. Now listen, if you really rock with what we're building here, I invite you to take the opportunity to support the channel by becoming a member of the AAA family. Our mantra is authenticity above all. Everything we do, our content and our community, is built on creating and enjoying quality, authentic conversations, real insight, and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly assists in the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar you contribute is not only appreciated, it's paid forward. We proudly make monthly contributions to various community health and awareness organizations because impact matters. If you want to get even more involved with the community, be sure to join our Discord. You can type the command right now in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. And for those who want to support the network directly, you can donate through multiple options: Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. Thank you all for the love and the support and the energy you bring every single time. Now buckle up because it's time to get into the show. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, I know it's early. It's the off-season. We are now on our off-season schedule. I know this is our first live, so we're going to take our time getting started this morning. I kind of want to just introduce the new Coach Smook live setup, man. We've been kind of easing our way into this, and I think this is the perfect time to kind of switch up the style and how we're delivering our morning content. So we're going to have a consistent schedule. We're going to put out our new schedule every week. So after the Monday show, you'll see the graphic. We post it to all of our platforms. Make sure you're all following at Coach Smook on all platforms. Again, that's at Coach Smook on all platforms. And on our YouTube side, make sure you're subscribed to the at Coach Smook Reacts and the Coach Smook gaming content. We're going to get back into our gaming content on the during the off season. We're going to get everybody back active in the community. Shout out to the early birds, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning and Roll Tide. ZNT, what's that? ZNT Picture Show. Appreciate you for coming in early this morning, man. Good to see you. Do that crowd. Y'all got to calm down a little bit back there, all right? And my producers are not in yet, man. Good morning, everyone. How we all doing today? Good to see you, Kinesis. Man, Kinesis, pretty cool to see how many people. Can you hear me good? It's pretty good. It's pretty cool to see how many people claim that they don't watch the content, but everything we post, man, boy, we become the center of attention. It's awesome, bro. Bama smoked the freak out the barn this 25-26 season, going 10-1 against little brother. Facts. And I was just looking at the series in the baseball series, recent baseball series, how we blew them out in the baseball series. So shout out to Bama handling the in-state rivalry in all sports. Basketball, football. What's up next? Softball, volleyball. Volleyball gonna be up next. Yeah, it's about to get crazy. I like and gymnastics. Gymnastics. I don't know if y'all know how serious gymnastics is in the SEC. If you haven't watched it, get in there and watch some SEC gymnastics when it comes to like that. I don't know if it's like the tournament or the final meet, whatever it is. It gets intense. I don't understand a lot of it. I just know that them young ladies, they be on they be on their stuff, man. They be hype. They had their celebrations and everything. So it gets pretty cool when you just kind of you're sitting there in the barbershop and there ain't really nothing to watch in the off season. And you see SEC logos. Yeah, that's where it's at. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in this morning. For real. What's up, Dominic? Good to see you, Roll Tide. Good to see everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna take my time getting started this morning because I'm gonna do like a 45-minute segment of just breakdown and topics of things that we want to bring to the head. And so while we're here, I need y'all to, if you got your coffee or if you're on your way to work and you're sipping your coffee while you're riding, just turn it up a little bit. And when you get to your next red light or when you get to your next stop, I need you to go ahead and like and share the stream. As a matter of fact, I have to send off my good morning text to my children. It is now 6:45. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can actually join me with this. And also another thing that we're going to do is, and we wanted to do it this morning, but I wanted to give everybody opportunity just to catch us live. So next week we'll start with a topic like a life topic. For the first 15 minutes, it'll be just a random segment, and we might have a phone caller, a guest caller on the phone line leading us in that topic discussion. And it may go 30 minutes for the first 30 minutes, and then we'll transition into our sports topics and then our call-in segment. And so we're going back to I don't know if y'all remember when we first started, we used to have a full 2.5 hour, 3 hour call-in, a morning show. That's what we're getting back to. Not that long, but something more segmented, more variety-based, kind of like what we're used to. And I know y'all see the Bama gear, but y'all, we had a phone call Sunday morning after we got back home from church. Well, Sunday evening, and we have to go to Mobile in June. They sit down with the South Alabama. Is it University of South Alabama? It is University of South Alabama. South Alabama. We're going to be sitting down and having a conversation with them. We have a lot of prospects that we've covered through high school that are at that school, and I like what they're doing in Mobile. I was on the campus a few months ago for the Senior Bowl, and I have a good friend, Mr. Burkett. He's on their staff down there, and they got some quality stuff going down there, and I feel like that'll be an opportunity for y'all to see insights on how the game is operated and things are reported in media, storylines and everything that kind of carried through college football. We're expanding, so we're partnering with a couple of resources and sources down there, and personalities that are aspiring to be in the sports media space, in the sports media industry. And it's funny because we've kind of got pulled into it, and now we're becoming a platform that's kind of providing connections for others to be successful in the industry, and that's kind of the overall goal and objective, to continue to help this overall industry be better. So yeah, man. What's up, Ken? Good to see you in the chat, man. He said, I don't like the fact, what'd he say? Hold on, let me see already. I don't like the fact that all of a sudden when Kaylin starts outperforming Mac, he's injured. Oh, okay. Everybody's trying to say Austin Mack is injured. You know, that's what happens. And you know what? Ken, the Bama fan, I'm glad you pay attention, man. You really woke, man. You really woke, man. Hold on, let me see. But you woke when it comes to this media stuff. All right. Good morning, Urban Essence. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. But you really woke when it comes to this media stuff, when it comes to Bama football, because if you think about it, a lot of people were very loud about trying to project their sources were saying that Austin Mack was this, Austin Mack was that. The more I kept talking about Keelan Russell, every time I went live and said something about Keelan Russell, and y'all can go back and look at their content. Ken, you know some of the guys some of the platforms that are on YouTube, and some of the guys on TikTok that kind of just every time I say something, they try to counter it with, well, my guy at BOL this and my guy at, and I'm not trying to spark nothing because I truly respect what everybody's doing in their spaces, right? But I found it really, really funny how every time some wave about my insight got a hold to majority of the fan base, people try so hard to discredit it, and then you show up on A Day, and it's like, man, now what do I have to do to try to make Coach Smook look like he don't know what he's talking about? And it's becoming comical at this point. And I don't know why it has to be like that because you know and from my research, and we're just kind of small talking to give everybody a chance to get in. And this is still Bama talk, Bama football talk. But from my research, this is how a lot of insiders kind of had to come through through the industry, especially the ones that didn't go the traditional route, because you got a lot of journalists that get labeled as insiders because of information that they're given, right? And that's, to me, is not insider information. Insider information is the information that everyone's given, right? And you go inside and you find out the ingredients, try to find out the proof to it. And that's what we try to discuss and try to dig into outside of the analytics and the regular football talk, right? We want to know what's going on inside the organization. And I think we do a pretty good job with how we project and keep the privacy of the university and the program, but also give our fans something to really lean on. And when you having those conversations with other Bama fans and you talk about what Coach Smook said, it's something you can rely on because it's truly accurate. It's truly accurate. So what's up, man, folk? Hey, while y'all in the chat this morning, if you're able to, be really active in the chat. Our chat rate was really up this week, and I would love to continue to have that momentum and continue to drive up the subscribers. We did a very good job. What's up, Antonio? Good to see you. We did a very good job getting some more subscribers and members to the AAA family. So, but without further ado, let's get into some conversation. Let's get into some football talk. The main conversation today we're going to be getting into is basically, y'all, we're just going to dive into the topic of conversation of the spring game. We're here. It's finally done, right? And a lot of people are excited now. And I don't have any doubt that the more that we continue to kind of just dive into the conversation in the off season and watch these guys get in their off season training sessions and go to these different development camps and do their off season work, right? The storyline is going to be, will there be an announcement for QB1? And I don't care what media asks for. I feel like I got a good bead on what this staff, some of their mannerisms and things that they project, right, with what they say. So I look at it and I say, you have an opportunity to really establish a leadership presence in the locker room, right? And we had a phone caller call in. Shout out to everybody that called in the other night after the spring game, right? You have an opportunity, right, to identify a presence. I know this is a player-led locker room, right? This team is kind of like player-led. They want it. The culture of it is like, you all set the standard. You all live up to the standard. You all want to come to Alabama. You want to rock the script. You want to set a new standard. You want to be the next stage past what Coach Saban era is. Well, you guys got to set that standard. We're going to provide you the tools. We're going to provide you the schemes, everything that you need, right? Everything that you need, we're going to provide it for you from a coaching standpoint, right? From a facility standpoint, from a staffing standpoint, right? We're going to provide that for you. We're going to give you an opportunity to maximize that side of things, right? But it's up to you to set the standard. It's up to you to execute at a level to where you can achieve those goals. And I think that's the new wave, because these guys are given, and it's not just about NIL money. It's the level of responsibility with the exposure. Like, you got to think, these athletes were already on a pedestal, right, when it came to exposure. just from a public standpoint with the stage that they play on. But now you add money in it. Now you got schedules outside of classwork and workouts and practice. You have schedules to go and do a commercial shoot here. You got to go do this charity event here after practice. You got, this tutor and study hour here. So it's a lot. It's a lot when we start thinking about it, when we start going into it and just breaking it down and giving credit where it's due, right? And now we roll it back and we factor all that in and we put it in the mix of what transpired this past Saturday in the spring game, right? And this staff, they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to say, hey, we saw the reactions of the team when one quarterback was in. We saw the reactions of the team when big plays were happening. We saw where the big plays were coming from. We felt comfortable with everything that we were kind of dialing up from a standpoint of first and second team operations with both quarterbacks. And the productivity wasn't just in the stats. I don't want everybody to get caught up in the stats that everybody's reporting. Shout out to Nick Kelly. He had an accurate reporting of the primary stats of the scrimmage. We'll actually get those up sometime during the conversation today. But it's a great opportunity for this staff to establish that conversation. So we're going to dive into that and kind of lean into why we believe Keelan Russell should be the guy. There's a lot of conversation to have, and I truly still believe that there's still room for competition and debate. But based off of where we're leaving off, we're putting a pin in the final spring practice. Where do we stand at the quarterback battle? Who should be QB1? I truly believe it's Keelan Russell. And then we'll dive into the conversation about the run game, offensive line and running backs, their performance, how everything showed up in that aspect of the scrimmage, right? Do we feel like we had enough competitive edge on the defensive front in the front seven of the D-line? Or, just the run game, run defense from the defense. Do we feel like we had enough intensity to really get a good gauge on the run game? Because you have a kind of like a 60-40 split in the fan base, if you ask me. A lot of fans were publicly saying the offensive line looked like it did last year, right? And a lot of fans were like, you're blind, right? So you're going to have that conversation, but maybe the defensive line and those linebackers, that inside linebacker room, we got that conversation too. The D-line and the inside linebacker room flying around, making it tough yards in the run game. So we got a lot of conversations to have here on the Coach Smook Network. Appreciate y'all for tapping in live here on the Coach Smook Network. What's up, Fred? Good to see you, my brother. Old Tide. Who else is in the chat? Daniel King said, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Russell is the starter, but stupid Wildcat at the goal line. Hey, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think he has the capabilities to be a factor in the run game. And I know that scramble play where they blew it dead. I after rewatching it a few times, I think my guys, he would have been down because that was Jair Edwards coming downhill, and I've seen that type of instant happen a lot of times. Watching Jair Edwards over the past 2.5, 3 years, so yeah, that probably wouldn't have ended up good for Keelan, but that's because that's the scrimmage, but we see. This man has some abilities. Big Frank, he said, I think they are going to drag it out like they've already said just because they said they would. It is, and you're right. It is protocol to wait till fall. I already predicted that they would announce it in the fall, week 2 scrimmage, because they still have those first 2 scrimmages when they come back from fall. They kind of have that tune-up scrimmage where they kind of just speed line everything. What have we installed up into this point? Put it out there. How quickly can we gather it in the first 2 to 3 practice? Well, what they usually have like 2 practices. No, they usually have 3 practices before they have their scrimmage in that first week of prep, and then they have the second week of practices, and then is week 1 prep. So that second week, I truly believe, going into that week, we'll know who the starter is. I don't think they'll wait till that Thursday or anything like that. I think going into that week after that first scrimmage, we'll know who the starter is as far as QB1 for Alabama. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Jonathan Harris? To be fair, there's a lot of gray area. Defense was swarming, and they go against each other every day. I did see improvement as an offense in total. And I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I want y'all honest opinions. And Jonathan, appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure you grab your wristband, man. It's that time of the month, y'all. Make sure y'all can renew y'all memberships. We've been growing, man. If y'all haven't seen, we got more subscribers. Continue to run the likes up in the chat over on YouTube, TikTok. I see y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Antonio with the gifts. Appreciate you. He popping off big time this morning with 50 gifts, 51 total gifts on the stream, and the heart. Me appreciate you, my bro. And shout out everybody else tapping on the screen over there on TikTok. If you're tapping in on Facebook, please provide a reaction. We want to see you out there talking. We want to hear your thoughts, see your thoughts, read your thoughts, interact with you. And Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, all that. We live here on the Coach Smook Network. Good morning, Dylan. Good to see you, man. My brother, Roll Tide. Shout out to you, Big Frank. What's good? He said they are going to protect feelings on this situation. I don't think so. I think there has been a quality competition, and I think even this morning we'll know by the end of this show. Kind of like the temperature of what they've done. Today is kind of like the day. I think most of them will be being released today as far as from football activities to go ahead and, commence off-season activities. But I think there'll be some meetings being had. You had some just some coaching, some staffing things, some closeout AAR, final reviews, grading, all of that stuff is going to be happening today, final evals. And I think today there will be kind of like a precedent set with what they will come back into the fall with, what the projection coming into the fall with, right? And you'll have advisors throughout the offseason that kind of stay in contact. And I don't know what the rule is as far as direct contact with the staff and players, on-field staff and players, but I know that a lot of your off-field staff in the offseason, they're provided that time and that interaction to, do things schematically and teach things from film work, go through concepts and all of that. So we'll see what those off-season reports turn into, and we'll be following it closely. As God continues to bless the Coach Smook Network, man, we've been provided another level of access, and I'm just grateful. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm blessed. Things are tight, but it's tight to where I got to stay focused, right? And we're focused as a community, and I appreciate y'all support, man. I heard they have 2 more practices this week, the 14th and the 15th. No, sir, that is not practices. They will not be have. Those are kind of like walkthrough things. They're going to be doing ARs, evals, things like that. It won't be like anything live. And I'm talking about like we're not talking about like on-field workout stuff. I mean, we're not talking about like scheme stuff. We're talking about on-field workouts. So, yeah. And somebody put out the other day too that and I'm gonna check this email real quick. I'm glad y'all just said that because I can show it now. Hold on 1 second. Does it say not for public release? It doesn't. All right, so I'm gonna pull that up, and I will also bring the Kaylin Debor press conference. We'll start the show off with that, and then we'll get into our topics. And once we do that, after we get into our topics and breakdown from the scrimmage, we'll go into our phone call segment. And once we do that, why am I bending over into the mic like I don't have a mic stand to lift up closer to my face so I can freaking talking? But we're going to get into the show. We're going to listen to the Kaylin Debor interview from the scrimmage this past weekend. And let me see if it's better for me to just screen share and play it. It might be better to do it like that. Here we go. Let's see what layout we get right here. All right, let's do it. Let me know if y'all can hear it good. Kaylin Debor presser.
You bet. Beautiful day for some football, and I appreciate all the fans that came and supported the guys today. It was a great event, too, at Denny Chimes, celebrating our captains from the 2025 season. Great tradition that is unique and it's awesome seeing those guys again too before the NFL draft. But thought the guys competed again. Unique situation with our practices. 2 of them still being next week, so we're not done yet. Get back to work Tuesday and Thursday. Still got a lot of opportunities to get better. A lot of situational work that we can get to. So, but good back and forth. Much like many of the other scrimmages, you can see how we orchestrate it with the ball and where we spot it. And so, there's some advantages the offense gets towards the end. We got to get that ready.
All right, here goes this statement. I'm trying to screenshot it. Tuesday, Thursday practice. Expect shells, walk through, light workout. So, like I said, it's gonna be like he kind of went through it really quickly. He said, situational things, and I think what we saw when he said situational, immediate thought for me is like play clock management, right? That was a huge thing in the scrimmage. A few opportunities to get ahead in the play clock, and I saw some miscommunication from from the coordinators to the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks. But I did see a different level of confidence for both quarterbacks when they saw switches up front, right? Especially Russell, man. I got a great clip that I think I'm gonna be able to share, because myself and Zach, we were able to be in the end zone on the first scoring drive, and he got a delay of game call, but you saw the defensive line shift. You heard the defense making the call, and he saw the shift. The safety walked down in the box a little bit, and he called alert. He said reload, and then he called out the play, boom, boom, and it was a slight shift. The offensive line had pointed out their protections, and right when he got back on the center, the referee threw the flag. So I think those are things that they're going to be able to look at on film. They'll be able to come in Tuesday morning or Monday. They'll be able to come in today when they have their meetings and things, and they'll start to get guys that's finaling out, like the draft guys, the guys that's doing their off-season workouts, all of that stuff. They're gonna find those guys out, and then, like he said, Tuesday and Thursday they'll get
work in. But there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of situational stuff that we can get better at.
Thank you, Coach. Let's start on the right side, front row, the chase.
Toward the end of the scrimmage, when y'all went red zone, we saw Keelan Russell almost exclusively. Can you just touch on why you really didn't split the quarterback reps in the red zone so much?
Yeah, we just had to limit Austin just with some stuff. So just that was why. So just this week was a little bit where Austin, our Keelan got more reps just with some things Austin's going through. So Austin was good for the most part, but I wasn't able to finish it out. But he'll be fine.
Go to Charlie on the back right of the room.
Just kind of sticking with that, we saw Noah Rogers leave the field. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, we'll have to get him evaluated here. So unfortunate, with him getting dinged up. So
I got a question, chat. I got a question real quick. I want to ask y'all something. Now, because of Austin Max, right? And this is what I want y'all to think about, right? And what's up, everybody? I see y'all pulling up in the chat. Here on the Coach Smook Live Morning Show. I see you. What's good, big homie? And Soft Mike said, how you doing, Softy Mike? Softy Mike says, hi. What's up, Softy Mike? Welcome in, everybody. I'm going to ask y'all this question. With Kaylin Debor saying that, going through some things that he's going through, does that automatically, does that turn to injury for me? No, I'm telling y'all, I saw a difference in as far as guys continuing to build on reps, right? That Wednesday before the second scrimmage, and that Friday, was that a Friday? They had the second scrimmage. Whenever it's scrimmage number 2, the private scrimmage, I told y'all what it looked like, right? The reps were dead even. Both quarterbacks, the offense struggled as a whole, but you saw where Keelan was starting to separate with the ability to create plays. Now, up until that point, there might have been segments in practice where Austin, who was probably the projected number, lead guy in the race, was probably getting certain blocks in practice, right, during teams, and they weren't probably dishing that to Keelan at the point. So A-Day just so happened to create an opportunity because of the type of week he was having going into A-Day. So that's what I think. I think they capitalized on it because they were seeing how he was performing in that moment, right? And they wanted to see, okay, let's stack this on top of it. Yeah, he's been there to kind of run it, but let's see how he performs it in live action, kind of putting him in a pressure situation like Austin Mack was thrown into last year against Indiana. And we saw the effectiveness of how Kaylin did that, especially with the first group. Looked very good. So that's something to think about and something to consider.
Kind of see what that looks like. You know, he'll go get the MRIs and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens. We'll have more information here as we go through the spring and summer.
Good, Nick on the far left.
Yeah, what do you think of the running game today and what you saw from those backs in the offensive line?
I mean, again, there's times where, you know, in a game you try to have the approach of wearing down. You work plays off of plays. You know, you're going out there and it's ones and twos, and you know, you're back and forth. So sometimes it's even hard for me to sit back there and think about what group had the most consistency. A couple seams at times that I remember, I think, with the ones, and that's really who you're trying to hone in on. Both sides of the ball, trying to keep it simple to get guys out there. You know, so there's more complexity that you can have with the defensive scheme. So there's more things that you can do offensively as well. But I think there's a few things that we can hang our hat on that we can execute well. You know, there's some backs you guys saw who stood out and who can make the cuts, and you know, who ran some people over when they needed to, who got it done, and maybe who's still got some work to do. So offensive line wise, what I do feel is that their communication, their technique and execution is getting better, and it's not something that happens overnight. They'll continue to work. Still got a whole week ahead of us of practice, and would expect them to get better. I think from the center on out, though, the communication, guys are on the same page. Not a lot of guys busting assignments. It's going to happen here and there still in the spring. New faces in certain spots, but I thought for the most part, you know, we're getting a play off to a good start here in the early stages of spring.
Go front row on the left, Colin.
I saw Mike Carroll there at right guard. What do you like about him there? And is he still kind of bouncing between the tackle and guard spot, or do you like him at guard?
The last part of spring, he played mostly guard, and just, you know, we love the fast physicality he brings. Played some guard early on when he came in here. Knew he could be pretty good at it, like really good at it. And there's some things that he can do, you know, against some the big matchups, and then also in the pass pro, he can get out there in space because of what he can do as a tackle. So he's a flex guy for sure, but he has taken, to answer your question, he has taken more guard reps here the latter part of the spring.
Let's go to Joe right in the middle of the room here.
Yeah, Kaylin, back to the quarterbacks. Just to be clear, is Austin hurt? You said he was limited.
Yeah, he's dinged up a little bit. He'll be all right though. He'll be fine. Yep.
Go to the left side, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Two-pronged question. Can you tell us the ways you feel like Ryan improved during the spring? And then secondly, is it still too early to tell how EJ might be able to contribute once he's up to full speed?
Yeah, with EJ, just not a lot of, I mean, reps the first couple of practices and really nothing since. So it is, you're going off of what you saw there, and you have optimism. There's a lot to learn for him. Even just the contact, the physicality that comes along with the next level up. But, you know, from athleticism, speed, got the strength, you're optimistic. There's a lot of promise. And so it's going to be pedal to the metal for him, learning the schemes, getting comfortable with the guys around him. Obviously, there's pass protection that's highly important for a running back as well. You know, Ryan's consistency was something all spring long that I know he should be feeling good about, but Ryan's expectations are just like all of ours, that, you know, we expect elite performance, and, you know, he's going to just continue to grind. He's a leader for us in our football team. And he can be, because he works as hard as anyone that's out there. And so it's paying off. It's showing up. There's been a consistency.
I agree.
People are always going to ask about catching the ball, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the consistency there. Not making just the easy ones, also making the hard ones, as we've seen him and get accustomed to him making.
Right. And I want to comment on that. I kind of want to touch on that topic because that was a huge topic of conversation last season. You know, the wide receiver room, everybody, you know, a lot of people had difference of opinions on why the offense struggled, right? And I had my thoughts on there being a 30-70 blame on a lot of these drops were underthrows, but a lot of these drops, you expect your receivers to win some of these, right? I know it was underthrown, but if it touches your hands, catch it. Jeremy Bernard, right? Understand that it's wide open, right? And when you have a perfect pass against Georgia, you have to bring that in. That helps the whole team as a whole. The momentum, the energy from your quarterback. He trusts you more. So there's a lot of blame to go on each side, but I think as receivers, accountability is if it touches my hands, I'm catching it. Simple as that. It's always been that since I've started playing football, and I didn't play organized ball till 9th grade, so I could just imagine what it was like playing organized ball in Pee Wee League and the type of discipline that you had to have growing up. But it was like that even in the neighborhood. You know, it touches your hands, you're supposed to catch it. So good to see Ryan Williams' performance in A-Day. I told you all, he looked like he's being a lot more aggressive and assertive in using his hands, but also protecting his body. You know, very aware on a few of those catches, especially the one he made coming across the middle. And he in person, I told you all that 185 he looks solid with the 185. But you see him next to a Sedarian Morgan and a Rico Scott, and you're like, man, you could eat a little bit more. But I think Ryan's in a good spot right now. I think he's in a good spot mentally, physically. I think he's going to be a little bit more of a presence as long as he's smart with how he asserts himself, especially when it comes to run blocking, especially when it comes to blocking for screens, right? Getting downfield blocks. We saw him try to do it last year. Not the most effective way, but he tried, and you see the assertiveness. And I think that's a requirement that Coach Derek Nix has kind of highlighted since his arrival, being at the University of Alabama as the wide receiver coach. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. Continue to run this likes up on the stream, tap the stream. We got a few more minutes of the head coach Kaylin Debor interview, and after that we'll take a quick infomercial break, and after the infomercial break we'll come back, we'll do our topics, and then the phone lines will be open at 7:45. We'll open up the phone lines and get you all in here and get your thoughts and your feedback from the Alabama A-Day scrimmage this past weekend. So let's get back to the video chat.
Go to the left side, right in the middle.
Hey, Coach, what is the biggest thing that defensively that you think needs improvement?
I think we just got to continue to execute. You know, when we have pressures and things like that, we've got a lot better. That was something we kind of slotted as an area we can improve on from last season. It's just, you know, we know the different variations of things that we can do with our defense. There's a lot that we've put in. You know, up front, I think it's just continuing to build and grow and see how far those guys can go. Because we have a pretty good idea with the secondary of what they're capable of. So you're always going to work on tackling. You're always going to work on pursuit. The effort stuff is got to happen. That's got to be a must. And I guess I don't really feel like we've ever had issues with that. Our guys are accountable to it. So now it's just a matter of execution and blitz patterns, execution of their base stuff. You know, we want Coach Womack to be able to have everything at his fingertips that he needs to go be successful. And I know they're taking those steps daily to do that.
We got time for 2 more questions. We'll start in front left, Katie.
Obviously, it's a little different in a scrimmage when you're not going to actually sack the quarterback. What did you see from the defensive front and generating pressure and just kind of throughout the spring from that?
Yeah, and it's hard when the quarterback's not contact. There's sometimes, you know, I get caught looking down the field once in a while trying to see things too, and all of a sudden there's a guy in the quarterback's face. So, you know, I thought they did a good job getting pressure in different ways. The key to me is that they're all working together, and I guess that would go back to the previous question, things we can continue to work on. I thought last year, one of the ways that we improved our pressure on the quarterback was by everyone doing their job and working in unison and not giving lanes for the quarterback to step up. I think once in a while, there's still lanes for the quarterback to move up. I saw Keelan right at the end here do exactly that. Get out in some space. He'd have a run pass option. Puts a lot of pressure on your defensive backs or back half of it when that happens. So to me, that's an area where we can continue to improve, you know, with our defensive front.
We'll finish up with Kenny in the second row on the right.
after the previous scrimmage, you said that it was like a heavy install week for the quarterbacks and the offense, and that kind of contributed to how they played. Based off of what you saw today, did you feel like this was
my boy Kenny
forward and an improvement in kind of what you see from both of your?
Yeah, I thought they looked more comfortable today. You know, and again, both sides kind of trying to get back to the basics at the end. I could feel both sides trying to get to some of those red zone concepts that we haven't practiced as much. And then also you saw a couple maybe receivers not getting lined up with a lot of confidence. And now the quarterback's double check. And that's the stuff we got to work on next week again, with getting to just clean all the time, you know, to where there's not a question whether someone knows their responsibility. So again, that goes along with the installs. You know, red zone is a part where you gotta be clean. If you're not on the same page, you know, we saw a takeaway. I can't say it was because someone didn't do their job or know what they were supposed to do, but that's a big deal to us. We were very good in the red zone last year as a team, pretty balanced between offense and defense and our execution down there. So got to keep working on it. We'll do a lot with 2-minute drill and things like that next week too. We haven't done any of that, just with a lot of new faces. Wanted to get our base stuff in, and next week, you know, we'll get into a lot of that situation, red zone, 2-minute drill, things like that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, give it up for head coach Kaylin Debor, man. I think to come out of that scrimmage with the amount of exposure, right? The amount of exposure that we were privy to with players getting reps, right? I think the thing with Keelan and Austin Mack, like you heard Coach Debor say, I don't think Austin Mack's injury was like enough to keep him out of the competition, but I think there were things that Keelan just had a certain rhythm going, right? And you were seeing things kind of flow smoothly, even with the struggles. Plays were happening off schedule. You could keep moving and building off of those things. So, like, even though it didn't get ran right, his ability to create, the team's ability to kind of flow and adjust with them in those reactionary moments, that's the difference I see, right, in the quarterback battle. So we'll get into the conversation. My boy Big Dog say, running back room better watch out for Trayshawn Bryan. I've been talking about it. I was talking about it when we signed him. I told y'all to watch out for him. I know EJ was a guy, but Trayshawn is kind of like the Kenyon Drake and the Josh Jacobs of the running back room, the third guy that could be the first guy anywhere else. I truly believe that. So solid running back room there. Good morning, Coach. Glad to be back in the swing of things. Roll Tide. Good to see you back in here, Antoine. Make sure y'all pick up those wristbands. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about when I say make sure you got the wristbands, make sure you take the opportunity to become a member of the AAA family, man. For real. It's free to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the main thing. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. But become a member. Help us continue to grow, man. What we were able to do this past weekend is because of your membership contributions and your donations. So thank you for that. And if you want to support and become a member of the AAA family, this is how you do so. Check it out. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips? The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
Not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Let's get it, chat. I'm ready to get into the conversation this morning, y'all. I've been ready to talk about it since it ended here on the Coach Smook Network, y'all. We've had a kind of like our breakdown, right? We've kind of done our fan breakdown version of what we've saw, and we were able to experience being there live. And shout out to every member of the AAA family that came in and showed us love this past weekend while y'all saw us out there on the in the streets. When you saw us in the streets, I heard how many of them did we get, man? Big homie Zach, y'all in the chat too. Y'all were there to experience it. We got a few put me in the game, Coach Smooks. We got about 15, 16. It was a few of them. It was a few of them. And then we got some new families. So if you pull up in the chat, it's your first time after subscribing, seeing us live, say something so we can acknowledge you. And don't forget to hit the like button here on the Coach Smook Network, and continue running the likes up. Share the stream right now. If you're in the chat, share the stream. Everybody know that you're here tapped in. Let's get into the conversation, man. QB1, let's break it down. What was the biggest takeaways from it? And I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on each of these topics, but I want to establish some. Will QB1, will Kaylin Russell be QB1? I truly believe so. Will we get an official announcement? But before time, I don't think it's proper to announce it right after the spring, right? Unless you have a returning starter or something like that. This is an open competition. You want guys to have the maximum time to be evaluated. You want to see how this guy carry over from the spring to the fall. Now, Kaylin Russell come back. There's a certain level of confidence and command, and you're seeing it continue to flourish through his production, which I believe is going to happen. Kaylin Russell will be QB1. I think we will finally see this offense unlocked. I saw the potential, the playmaking ability as this offensive line, which is talented. We'll talk about the offensive line and how good it looks. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about it in the run game. But I love the pass protection aspect with, like we heard Kaylin Debor talking about with Michael Carroll at guard. I told you all, I kept telling you all, I feel like Michael was more tenacious and more of a guard fit because of his frame and his body of work when it comes to how finesse he can be in pass pro, how aggressive he can be in the type of push, and his athleticism. He's one of their faster offensive linemen. You get him out in that pin and pull system, get out in the perimeter on the boundary, getting his hat on and turning that corner to clean up edges or those rolling down linebackers and safeties that's trying to come down and set the edge. You get a Michael Carroll out there in front of that, and an athletic who was that Javen James at tackle, right? You get those guys out there, you can start seeing some guys move around, man. Ty Haywood had a solid day, right? You can see some of these guys. Now we saw Mal Waldrop kind of struggle at that right guard position, but on the left side, I feel like he was a little bit more comfortable. And people be like, his guard is left and right guard, left and right tackle. It's different beasts. But when it comes to this QB position, this QB1 position, we saw Kaylin Russell provide a decisive, and I mean like a good separation of production compared to what Austin Mack was able to do. And whatever the injury is, whatever the limitations are, you still got to put your best foot forward, man. And there was some things reads-wise that we saw him struggle with. We saw him struggle with, handling the pressure. When the pressure got in his face, we saw how he kind of got hesitant. right? Russell's ability to be calm in those moments, and it was like, yeah, we got some, we got some good clips, we got some good scenes of what we're doing. You know what? I didn't think of it because when I seen Zay on the field, I said, dang, I wonder what I didn't think of it. And we were interacting with a lot of people, but I should have came because I know you would have acted up with me. I love, for y'all that don't know it, this is Xavier Griffin's mom, our freshman linebacker. And like I said, we're going to break down the inside linebacker room, but she's very vocal on her thoughts as far as when it comes to football. And she don't do that daddy ball evaluation. She going to tell it like it is. And I appreciate her for supporting the Coach Smook Network. She's been very vocal in supporting a lot of the platforms that do Bama coverage, the guys that are really out here putting their foot to the ground and telling the truth. I appreciate her. So to me, Austin was trying to do too much. It frustrated him. And you know what? I think big dog AJ, I want to give you a slight horn for that one, because even on the walkthrough, the champions, Walk of Champions, right? I said this to one of the fans that was standing there, and I said, man, he ain't locked in. He ain't locked in. And I feel like, and I said this beforehand, I felt like the pressure of the lights, that the stadium, the moments, knowing that this was going to make a big impact as far as where he stands in the evaluation. I just feel like Austin Mack has not seen enough of that throughout his career. Nowhere during his high school career did he get the experience there, and nowhere in his college career to this point has he been able to experience that from a standpoint of being the guy, having to set the tone. Against Indiana, he came in some garbage time, so we wasn't expecting much of him. Started off pretty solid. As soon as they got a beat on him, went downhill, right? And that's not taking any shots or saying he's not good. It's just there's a difference when you see Keelan Russell, who played. We talked about this. He played at a different level of classification when it comes to high school competition in that Dallas area in Texas. A lot of per capita, that is one of the top. I think it's number 2 or number 3 in the nation that produces your 4-star, 5-star caliber talent. D1 prospects overall, I think, is number 2. I think they're number 2 behind California, right in front of Florida. And Georgia's moving up that ranking. So it's a lot of things that you look at that where they come from and how they've developed to this point of their career. You have to consider Keelan Russell has seen it all, man. He's played in front of crowds of 20,000, 30,000. I mean, if y'all have never been to a high school football game in Texas, there are some good matchups and rivalries that shut the towns down in Alabama and Florida. But they get different in Louisiana and Texas, man. I'm telling you, in Texas really have the resources to pour into their stadiums and their presentation of their team. So Keelan Russell to me is going to be QB1. What's up, Jay Irvin? Good to see you. Good morning, Roll Tide. Make sure y'all dropping likes as y'all pull up, man. This is the live show, so we got our time this morning. We got time to really go through. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, Zach. Make sure y'all continue running the likes up, like I said, and take like 30 seconds to share the stream. If you could, especially on our YouTube site, share the stream, send it, post it somewhere on Facebook. Tell them we live here on the Coach Smook Network. Skill position look good to me Saturday. Oh, yes, 100%. Fred Harris said, what's up, Zach? Exactly. Keelan didn't let the crowd shake him. He's used to it, man. He's been there before. He's been there many a times. I watched that young man as a 10th grader, as a sophomore, take his team into the playoffs and win the state championship. You got to think, Keelan Russell lost one game as a starter in his high school career. One game playing against a area in a region where some of your top talent is produced. Next topic of conversation, man. Let's kind of transition into this thing. I want to keep it rolling because y'all got me hyped up, you know, playing some of this stuff back from the scrimmage. And a lot of people say this, you know, coming into this scrimmage, a lot of people thought I had my bias because whatever you thought, right? I don't care to get into the details of what they thought and how they thought it. But to be fair, I did have a little bias because I actually seen Keelan Russell live, right? I've seen him live in person, so I could sit there. It's kind of like if you ever grew up, if you grew up in like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s, right? That generation. Y'all remember going to like the park or to the playground and watching the guys on the court, and you always thought the dude that was the best guy on the court there, or the dude, even when you go play football in the field, you thought the best dude from your area was the best dude you ever seen, and then you go play somebody else, and you go to school finally, and then you see this other dude's better. That was the case going into this battle, because I've seen Austin Mack on a limited basis, but I've seen Keelan Russell in person. And the things that he did against some of the top DBs, some top linebackers, defensive linemen out of Texas, I feel like he could do that at the next level, right? I felt like he could do that at the next level, especially with the amount of time he had to develop last year. So that's part of the reason why. Let's talk about the run game, y'all. Let's talk about it. I think a lot of fans are overreacting. First of all, you got to think, you're talking about this wasn't a situational scrimmage, right? This was kind of just line up, call the plays. We got a script. Let's call the plays. We're going to throw a few curveballs at the quarterbacks, the defense guys, because we got to get this play callers, these guys on-field play callers and captains, guys that need to be making the right calls. We need to get them in the right space. So I think it was very vanilla as far as play calling, more so matchup work for a lot of these play calls, seeing how guys handle matchups, what type of production they produce, right? And I think we got good evaluation points, right? So for the run game, let's where does it start? Let's talk about the offensive line. Throughout the whole day, I'll say this, throughout the whole day, I want to give the offensive line so much credit for dealing with the type of talent that we have on our defensive front. We'll get into the D-line and break that down, but I want to give them that credit. I want to make this, but there was a certain grouping of offensive linemen, and I want to make sure I say this right. I'm gonna pull my roster up. I'm gonna pull the roster up, and I want to get the correct numbers from the roster because. And let me see something. Can I get it pulled up? And Mary, if we got anybody in the chat, one of my mods, here we go. Now we got action. Here we go. Where is my rosters? Here we go. So we're going to get our roster. Once we get the roster open, I want to talk about this offensive line group. So left tackle, Lloyd Jackson. I think at left guard, we saw, was it 71? Or is it 70? I got to remember. I got to remember. Because when Michael Carroll and James, the transfer, were at right tackle 50, is it 54? Is it 54 at right tackle? Right tackle 54, Javen James. Yeah. So, did I miss it? Did I miss the play? Here it is. This is the offensive line group. No, that's not it because Mal Waldrop was at left guard. It was 71 at left guard. Was 71 at left guard, Nick Brooks. Okay. 71 at left guard, you had Lloyd Jackson. You had Jackson Lloyd. You had Nick Brooks, Racine Delgatti, Michael Carroll, and you had Javen James. That's when I think the offensive line had the best run production. I want to probably go as far as to say anytime you saw a run off the right side while James was in the game, you saw kind of like the movement there. And like Kaylin Debor said in the interview, I truly believe they like what type of push. Michael Carroll moves. He was probably the one of the best freshman offensive linemen, last year. Right, with the way that he was grading out against, upcoming first round draft talents, defensive linemen that are first round talents, right? Against future first round talents, especially the Georgia game, right? The type of talent he went through, and that was 2 times this season. Then in the Indiana game, Tennessee, a lot of defensive linemen that he faced. So this offensive line, I think. What they did overall as a group, they had a good show. And I like what 63 did, the freshman Bryson Cooley. I like how he showed up in the scrimmage, competed. He had a few good reps against number 9. He had a few good reps against number 9 from the tackle position. And I think he even had some first team reps. Like I said, I got to go back and really break this thing down and look at the numbers on the field. But I don't know if y'all saw 75, Ethan Fields. I think he's gonna make a showing too to compete at one of those guard positions. And like I said, I think it's more so the left guard position. They're trying to find out if Nick Brooks is going to be that guy this season, right? Which I believe because of his size and frame, you kind of give him the nod, but you like the athleticism that you're getting with the other guys showing up there. So I'm glad that the type of overhaul we did for the offensive line, I think is affecting the run game. Now, the second part of the run game, the running backs, right? I love what we got from the running back room, especially, right? It's not necessarily the traditional handing off of the ball and carries, but the intentionalness, right? To be north and south, not a lot of wiggling, not a lot of wasted movement in the run game. When we had explosives, it was guys seeing the hole, putting their foot in the ground and getting north, right? And so another thing that was effective in the run game was we saw a few guys that was able to kind of show that patience and extending the line or pressing the tackle and then bouncing out, getting some of those edges. For the defense, the edge containment was probably the best we've seen on a consistent basis, right? You had maybe one or two plays that bounced outside, and that was due to great running back play, right? Running back assets, stiff arms, running through arm tackles, right? Getting good angles, producing good angles, setting up their moves. I love the way that he didn't have like huge explosive, but I love the way that Kevin Riley is showing his vision. And he set up a few blocks, with some of the traditional handoffs. He was setting up his blocks pretty nicely. The receiving out the backfield is huge. We talk about the pass game. I mean, the running back, the run game, but the receiving out the backfield is huge because it forces those guys to stay honest. Those linebackers, those safety that they usually have those assignments to come and pick up those backfield assignments. It makes them play it honest. They have to hold a step, hold an extra second. They don't know if it's a play action. They don't know if it's a handoff. They don't know if he's stepping up for pass pro and then checking down, right? And you're able to be a threat like that when you're catching good out the backfield. No fumbles. Did we see any fumbles? I don't think we saw fumbles from the running backs. No fumbles throughout the scrimmage. That's a huge thing too. So I think coming into the fall, you just build on the successes some of the strengths that you were able to develop in this scrimmage, which I believe was the outside zone run scheme. It looked nice. It looked better this year. The amount of talent that was up front, the amount of disruption that they kept providing. This group is this offensive line. Once they get the left guard position figured out, that this running back room will show their effectiveness. And I think we'll go deep with the rotation this year. Trayshawn Brown, the freshman, EJ, when he comes back, those guys aren't going to sit. They're not going to need to sit long, right? Kevin Riley looks primed. Daniel Hill looks primed. A.K. Deere looks primed. They look ready. They should be fresh. Underutilized last year. Wasn't necessarily the focal point of the run game last year. With Richard Young and Jan Miller on roster, kind of got the head start as far as evaluation. Kevin Riley made a surge late. Daniel Hill picked up. So they kind of established A.K. Deere, showed some explosive moments with limited opportunities. So excited to see that. Let's go to and we didn't talk about tight ends really, right? We didn't talk about tight ends, but I'm going to have to do a full segment and breakdown of the tight end room. I didn't realize how much talent we had in the tight end room until I saw what they're going to be able to do in this offense. We saw a lot of 12 personnel, right? Saw a lot of 2 tight end sets. Saw a lot of shifts. Saw a fullback set. H-back in the traditional I fullback alignment. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And the physicality they're getting into the whole the gaps with, into their lanes and coming out with their heads on the swivel, trying to get a hat on the hat. Loved it. So it's kind of like the initial breakdown of the tight ends. D-line, let's talk about it, y'all. Probably the most talented room on the roster, right? As far as depth, they have. I think you can go, and let me count. Let me get an exact number. And I'm not trying to over exaggerate, y'all. I'm so serious. You all saw it. If you showed up, if you didn't show up, I'm gonna tell you again. The D-line is probably the most talented group in this room. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm counting guys that I feel like are going to actually be in the rotation. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And somebody that's not even on campus, Nolan Wilson, I think will come in and find himself either as a Wolf or a Bandit asset. 12 guys. So 3-man front, which somebody, and I gotta give our guy Shep, first place barber, and I gotta give him his props. You know, Kane Womack showed us a lot of that Nick Saban like 3-4 nickel pre-snap alignment. And a lot of people have complained about seeing the 3-man front, but Coach Saban ran a 3-4 nickel, y'all, for years, and it is 4-2-5 is similar, but the edge, the Wolf and the I think the Wolf and the weak side linebacker, those guys are their assignment, attention to detail assignment or concepts adjust drastically when it comes to defending and containing the run game. They have a lot more responsibilities asked of them, and you're kind of relieving the nickel corner to be more of a pass game protection asset with reactionary run game assistance. You rely on your safeties from the top to be your interior run game support from the second level. Your linebackers are having to decipher, getting up in the mesh and in the trenches and kind of work that. So those levels have to be in sync. And it starts with your D-line. And the fact that I feel like, I truly feel like we have a rotation where you can go 4 deep, 3 defensive linemen, rotate them at each position, right? You can go 4 deep and get quality impact. Now, the first team group, I think, and you really can't tell who first team is. I feel like with this group, you got Devin Tompkins, who's going to be a mainstay. Jeremiah Beeman, he's going to be a mainstay there. You saw Steve Bowler going crazy at one point. Was that Mari Johnson? 26? Was that 26 just getting active? 26, 32 look good out there. I mean, and those are young guys. 94, Edric Hill looks a lot more, not necessarily lean, but just more agile. Asaya Fega looks like he's a lot more lean, and you see his explosion off the ball. These guys are disruptive on the interior. You see the offensive linemen really keen on trying to get those levels set, and they're having to work extra hard past that first level. Inside linebacker room, y'all. Inside linebacker room. I want to talk about some specifics here, and just off what I saw. I know there was more. I think after play like 60, we was kind of like walking out to try to get set up for the stream. But first thing I noticed with the inside linebacker room, you see the rocket, right? The inside linebacker room flies around. I guarantee you on every tackle, if it's within like 6 to 8 yards of line of scrimmage, whether it's behind or if ahead of the line of scrimmage, the inside linebackers are within. They're in on that play, right? The lateral coverage and lateral speed of this inside linebacker room is something that we haven't seen at Alabama in a long time. Now, we've seen the finesse inside linebackers that come in. They look good with footwork drills and all that good stuff, but the type of physicality and the coverage that these guys played with showed this past weekend, that's something that we haven't seen at Alabama in a while. And it felt Reuben Foster, Rolando McClain, like with the type of activity that we saw from the inside linebacker room. Not necessarily the impact hitting and all of that stuff. Of course, you're not going to see that in the scrimmage, but the way that they were able to impact and demand the presence of those guards on a lot of those fields, that's their job to key those guys. Right, when the guard feels like we just saw, I think that was the play I was highlighting. You saw Luke Metz, the guard, his gap that he kind of is to contain or shoot. That guard filled. He followed up, didn't give the center an opportunity to cover down. You shoot that gap. As soon as you see him stepping, if you read run, you go 100%, no hesitation. He dives in there, and he makes a play. I mean, he's there to support a play being made, right? You saw a lot of one-on-ones from the second level being won. You saw coverage underneath. These guys flew around. They were active in inside out containment when the running backs were catching passes out the backfield on a lot of those swing routes. Luke Metz to me really stood out Saturday. He really stood out Saturday. Luke Metz, everybody was kind of looking for Caleb Woodson. He very active. QB Reese, both him and AJ look good. Our freshman Zay 2 times. Both of those guys look good. I can't wait to see both of them develop, man. I think what's in front of them, because of the type of talent in front of them, next year they'll be in the same position as the number 2A, 2B, and the 3 guy in this inside linebacker room. I think we got Caleb Woodson for probably a year. You know, Luke Metz, AJ, QB, Duke will be in that room still, hopefully next year, right? The 2 Zays, the freshmen, those 2 guys are going to be some future. I think they're the level 6, the final boss version of the inside linebacker room of what this defense is going to want to display. And then last but not least, we're here in the last minute before we need to go into our calling segment. We're going to go into our infomercial break, and then we're going to get into our calling segment. The secondary, as advertised, can I get some props on that? Were they as advertised? Were they as advertised? I just want to know. Were they as advertised? Y'all got to let me know, because the secondary, to me, they pulled up on a lot of plays too, especially against Tamala. A few plays against Mac, you saw them pull up on. They are some headhunters. It's 17 Brooks, not 17 no more. 17 is Trayshawn Brown. That's the running back. Brooks is number 3. Daniel Hill looks good. Yes, he does. What's up, Bobby Sprinkle? I was wondering. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Brooks changed his number to number 3. Yeah, there we go. How were the wide receivers blocking? Dylan, that's the main thing we was talking about. You know, downfield blocking. One thing that we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about this. Derek Meadows. Speaking of DBs, y'all keep y'all head on a swivel. Derek Meadows is not playing with y'all. I don't know if that's been happening the whole spring. I told y'all that I saw the wide receivers being a lot more intentional and getting active in run blocking, right? Which is huge for the run game to take the next step forward. But DBs, y'all can't be getting manhandled by Derek and Sedari. I know there's some big boys, but you got to be a little bit more smart. You got to be a little bit smart in those matchups, because people gonna see that. They're gonna try to do that. And I know it's scrimmage, but the wide receivers were definitely doing good in pass and blocking, downfield blocking. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting excited. Getting ready to open these phone lines. But the secondary, I think, once again, and we don't have to get into the details of it, but you saw Chuck McDonald, you saw Carmelo O'Neal. It's hard to throw their way. These guys find themselves in the right spot. Run support with those guys at nickel corner. Carmelo on the boundary. Dijon on the boundary. You're going to be able to do a lot of things, a lot of stuff with that. Zabian, again, just a lockdown corner. I would be surprised if we don't see a more aggressive play calling style when it comes to our coverages with this group of secondary, with these guys we have in the secondary. Starting with the corners, man. Dijon, Zabian, Carmelo, Red, Jordan Edmonds, the freshman, 17. A dog, man. I mean, Zion Gibson, 17, a dog. Zion Gibson is a dog, man. And Jordan Edmonds was the one getting a lot of hype, right? Getting a lot of hype coming into this class. But Zion Gibson, and he's looking like he's shaping up. That frame, them guys then came into Bama and put some weight on them frames, man. Put some lean mass. But this secondary looks good. Red Morgan looks a lot faster than he has we've seen from him the past 2 years. I don't know if that was a thing that he focused on in the offseason, something that we can ask him about in the offseason, but during the preseason workouts and things, but he looks a lot faster flying around. Keon Sabb, just his presence. Ivan Taylor looked good. Drake Kirkpatrick, I told y'all, he's back. He's locked in. He looks good. He looks good. Zay Mincy, what's going on? What y'all think about 12? What y'all think about 12 on the defensive side? Still look kind of lost out there. And transitioning from corner to safety is hard. We saw Eddie Jackson go through his time, and he kind of got forced into a role. And he had Kirby Smart. I think Zay Mincy just needs to play football. See him thinking a lot out there. I want to see him just play football. He's a natural athlete. Use your IQ. And of course, y'all, the freshman Jaira Edwards. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, man. The Jaira Edwards is going to, you can't keep him off the field. I know we got a lot of DBs in that room, but Edwards, you can't keep him off the field. Can't keep him off the field. Rael Kelly, Nick Sherman, they made noise too. Rael Kelly, I think, was the one that had a stinger during the scrimmage. But overall, Chad, I think the secondary, this would be a top 5 group, 100%. 100%. Defense was flying around. Facts. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Not a lot of injuries. And the injuries that did happen, I think, were like, small things like tripping over ankles. Wasn't because of contact. We didn't see any concussions, things of that nature. Everybody took care of each other. So that's kind of our breakdown from the scrimmage. Special teams, we got our phases of that, right? Got our 2 phases of kickoff. We talk about the touchbacks, the punting game, how it looked. Want to see more live action style action for the special teams segments of practice. But for what we needed to see, I think we got enough. So when we come back, Chad, when we come back from our infomercial break, it's going to be about a 3.5 minute break. Give y'all a chance to go refill your coffee, get your bagel repasted with whatever flavored cream cheese you got. And if you got donuts, warm them up, send me one. I like them, right? Especially the strawberry sprinkle. If you ever want to send some donuts, strawberry sprinkle donuts, strawberry sprinkle donuts. Yes. And then when we come back, we're going to open the phone lines and get into our topic of conversation. Hopefully, we got some people in the chat that want to get on the phone line and talk. We're going to try to get at least 3 phone calls in this morning. 3 phone calls in. And after that, we'll do our final thoughts and get up out of here, y'all. So appreciate y'all for tapping in. And we'll be right back after these messages. Let's go. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community. And also, there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Hold on 1 second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out nfldraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
All right, y'all, let's get ready to get into the phone lines, man. This is our first call-in segment of the off-season officially, our first call-in segment of the off-season. So we want to acknowledge our sponsors here on the Coach Smook Network. I don't have producers, and I'm trying to find this banner. I don't have the producers in the back, but I'm trying to find this banner with the shout-out for our sponsors, man. They've been the support this past weekend. Here it is. Appreciate all our sponsors. Walk On Sports Bistro, the First Place Barbering, Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama, with Frederick Harris, our brother. I was able to see him. Got One Scouting Network, Yarn Clothing Brand, Helping Hands LLC, Goomba Bully Kennels, Minister Executive Security, Ghost Energy, and Amazon Creators. We also have another opportunity that we are going to be taking advantage of. We have an affiliate partnership program that we'll be stepping into here with another energy drink or energy product source that we used to use heavy, and we're about to get back with them. So hopefully y'all will see that announcement here soon. They just did a rebranding, a relaunch, and we're going to be one of their spokespersons. And so y'all make sure y'all try to use these products, man. We got Easy Filters. They also are a sponsor and a partner here on the Coach Smook Network. But want to give y'all a second to get ready, because this first segment is sponsored by this first call-in segment is sponsored by First Place Barbering here in Montgomery, Alabama. My brother Kelsey Shepard and the team over there. You ever in the Montgomery, Alabama area, stop through right there on Atlanta Highway here in Montgomery, Alabama. Get yourself chopped up and get squared away, man, because you got to look good wherever you go. You got to look good wherever you go. And these guys, they're going to support you. They have for my ladies, they have a salon next door. We're going to sit down and talk with them soon and get our connection and network with them, so we can continue to bring some exposure and, uplift every asset that's in the community. Can help not just the sports industry, but we're talking about community uplifting and impact. So shout out to First Place Barbering for being the sponsors of this first calling segment. And now the phone lines will now open up. Somebody type it in the chat, man. Topic of conversation. Hold on, before I do that, I'm sorry, I always messed it up. Topic of conversation, and I think I created a banner for it. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied with what you were able to get from the Alabama A-Day game? I want to see if I got a banner up. But I don't have one, so I'll create one at some point when we get somebody on the phone lines. But here, are you satisfied with what Alabama was able to produce in the game? We're going to get into it here on the Coach Smook Network. Somebody type it in chat. What's up in the game, Coach Smook? I'll catch you on the other side. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it real quick here on the Coach Smook Network. Let's go.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
All right, yo, let's go. Let's get it. What's up? We got our first call on the line this morning. Yo, Shep, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook? Talk to me. Y'all give it up for Shep on the line. What's up, Shep? Talk to me, bro.
Good morning, Coach Smook, and good morning to the staff at the Coach Smook Network, and good morning to those who are on the live this morning. I'm just thankful to be on the call this morning with you, Coach Smook, and your awesome supporters and your awesome staff.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. AAA family. I'll give it up for my guy Shep, man. He is so humble in his approach to and how he just gives us acknowledgement, man. I appreciate it, man. It is definitely doing his numbers. Zach and Big Homie, they was able to experience the AAA family effect live and in person during our time on campus. Shep, you good back there? You dropping stuff?
Yeah. Yes, I was trying to sleep a little bit while I was, my wife, they're at school, and I'm just doodling around and got my headsets on, ready to talk to you guys and just kind of cleaning up a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's get into it, man. Topic of conversation today. What are your takeaways from the scrimmage? One, and two, were you satisfied? That's the main topic. Were we satisfied? Where did we get a good showing? Did we get a good sample size to say and make these projections? We'll have a topic tonight, just kind of segue later on tonight on the call-in show. We'll talk about make some hot takes and predictions based off of our evaluations. But your takeaways from this scrimmage, and are you satisfied thus far? Go ahead.
Well, absolutely. I think Alabama, they gave us as much as they could possibly give us from a scrimmage and from a spring game. I think especially I was watching. I kind of peeked over because I like to know my stuff across the board when it come down to other teams. So when I open my mouth, especially in the barbershop, I know what I'm talking about. So when I peeked over into Florida, there's a lot of fireworks over there. There's a lot of offense at Florida. Florida defense kind of lagged in their scrimmage. I peeked over into, I think, Tennessee. I think Tennessee was kind of very similar. I think they got a quarterback situation going on over there. So it's like everybody just trying to kind of, but when I look at, our Alabama Crimson Tide, the Roll Tide, I think Alabama kind of gave us a balance. I think we saw some good things from the offense. I think we saw some good things from the defense, as much as expected from this, from the spring scrimmage. And like Kaylin Debor said, he said we're gonna get back to work. He said we got some more practices to go and things of that nature. So, man, I was pleased by what I saw. I think it was a balanced scrimmage. I think it was balanced. I think the offensive line, man, them guys were blocking.
Come on, man.
But But you can tell the defense just didn't kind of put their hands in the dirt real. You can just tell a lot of people just kind of really hold because it was a spring scrimmage.
Come on now.
Nobody's
And
trying to.
you want to come off. And I say this, when you can get 5 strong steps from a defensive lineman in those settings, they understand the assignment. They understand the assignment. That's what I was appreciative of. Now in the one-on-one drills, I know they didn't get to do it at A-Day, but the times I was there in those one-on-ones, they don't have to hold up there. They go in and they attacking a dummy, and they'll do they'll line up. I don't know if they're necessarily called, they're still called ones, but I think they're called like cattle drills or something where you'll have 5 offensive linemen and you'll have the coach behind them, and they'll point to which defensive lineman they want to attack, and on the snap, all the offensive linemen will come out of their stance, but only one of them having a matchup actively throughout their rep. And in those drills, the D line is like they are setting a tone. They are kind of separating as far as the skill gap and what's available. So it's not crazy to see this kind of transpire the way that it's transpired, man.
Absolutely. And I was telling Harper, I kind of asked a question in the chat, Coach. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm wondering, was that the starting O-line? Because if you pay close attention, Alabama got some penetration on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, now in real time, a lot of those throws that Keelan made, he would have been probably sacked on the throw.
And see, that's why I think they're misconstrued, because it's a lot of times like that tight throw he made to Cedarian Morgan where he got it right over the DB. That's stuff that I've seen Keelan been doing for the past 4 years, man. And he was doing that in the scrimmage, the second scrimmage. The offensive line didn't get corrected until we saw Michael Carroll go to guard. I saw Javen James go to right tackle. We saw the left guard was Mal Waldrop at one point. Then I think it was the what's the young man's name? Just came from out the transfer portal. Golly, I was just talking about this young man, Ethan Fields. Ethan Fields, number 75, at left tackle. I mean left guard. That group right there looked the best to me. That group right there looked the best to me with Jackson Lloyd at the left tackle position. But overall, man, I just overall, like you said, there was enough balance to see like pressure thrown at them, the way that they handled it, and you got to think if the defense speeds up in those moments, it has to dial it down. You got to think the quarterbacks have to understand that muscle memory that it takes, and who displayed it better. That's where I looked at it, and I think that's where Keelan Russell kind of said it. But that D-line is going to be nasty, man. What do you think about the secondary? Tell me about what your thoughts on the secondary, man. I know you're a running back guy, but that secondary, everything that you hear and everything that you saw with the clips, what do you think about the showing from the secondary?
Yes, I am a running back guy, and if I was coaching on a level like that, of course, it would be the running back. However, in following Alabama for years, and especially with Nick Saban, I learned a lot about defense. I learned a lot about the secondary, and then having former teammates that went on, as Roman Harper, Freddie Roach, LaMarcus Rowell, played with them guys, Zach Woodfin, that with the UAB. I had to learn a lot about defense. So I learned that, Roman and Ronnie, which is Roman's brother, they was like, I remember asking them in the shop. I was like, man, why Nick Saban was so adamant about the secondary? Like, and they was like, well, Shep, you got to understand, that's the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And they was like, yeah, like that's your last line of defense. And people don't know is really Saban coached from the secondary back. Like he coached, like his thing was if my secondary, and especially in man, so I think, we said this about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think Alabama, that secondary is probably more loaded than that defensive line. That's probably the most stacked position across the board in Tuscaloosa right now.
You think so?
I think that secondary. I think that secondary got four NFL prospects right now easily.
Oh yeah. I think that. I think that. But I think right now defensive line. I think NFL prospects, and I'm talking about day 1, day 2 guys on the D line. That's future projections, guys that's ready, like that a solid year this year based off their development. They're going first, second round. Right now, you got to think Tompkins, Green. They already had high projections. Jeremiah Beeman is somebody that we're waiting to see, but he had high projections. You got Simmons. He's a future first rounder guy. You got Fager, you got Hill. All these guys are going to be day 2 guys that get picked up, D-line assets that are going to be multi-contract guys. So, and they're about 12, 13 deep in that D-line room. I think with the corners though, I think you have a depth where if both guys on the starting lineup went down, you're not scared. If the second group went down, you're not scared. You get what I'm saying? I think that's what you have in the secondary.
And I think the reason why I said that, Coach, is because I think the difference in the secondary and the D line is the secondary is, if and I could be, to me, the secondary is like homegrown. The D line, you got some guys that came out the portal.
Yeah.
I think Alabama secondary, I think those are Kaylin Debor pretty much guys except for Keon Saab, and maybe one or two more. But I think the rest of them he recruited, right, Coach?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You got to think. Red came over from the Saban era, but Kane Womack was heavy in this area. He was in Mobile, kind of going to Central, and Red was on their radar. Dijon is somebody that was high on everybody's list. Xavier, same thing. Carmelo is somebody that came in this staff, and Mo has been high on since last season. A lot of guys. Zion is a guy that gravitated to Coach Mo really early. Same with Jordan Edmonds, Jair Edwards. Rael Kelly was a hometown find for Coach Mo. So you got a lot of things going for that secondary where Mo is getting guys that relate to him.
Oh yeah, Coach. So I think the secondary is gonna be awesome. I think they kind of held up too. If you watch them, they play hard, but you can just tell it wasn't a lot of. I know Kirkpatrick had a pick. That was to be expected. But it's So I mean, I love that secondary. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna hit. I think because all of them 6'2", they long and lengthy, and they got great ball instinct. So I love the secondary. I really do. I think they're gonna. One thing to me, the sign of a strong secondary is when you can come downhill and stop that run, boy.
Oh yeah.
If you got some, I know, Coach, your dog is about 180. But boy, if you got that one pit that just can scratch at about 70, 80 pounds,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And so that's how I see Bama secondary. I see them little jokers coming down that box, man, and daring you to run it. Like, we're gonna help the D line. We're gonna, not only do we got the second level straight, but we got the D line straight. And I'm telling you, if we can do that, I think, and like I texted yesterday, and I know you come up with your own topic, but me and Brian was talking, and we was like, man, who's gonna represent the SEC? Who's gonna put us back on the map? I'm gonna go on record. I'm gonna go on record on the Coach Smook show, Coach Smook Network, and I'm gonna say that my Alabama Crimson Tide, good gracious, have a chance to put the SEC back on the map if we keep progressing, if we keep coaching them up, if the guys keep buying in to Kaylin Debor's system and what he want to do in Tuscaloosa. I think that Alabama I ain't talking about. I don't care nothing about. I don't care what nobody say. I don't want to hear nothing about Georgia. I don't want to hear nothing about no Tennessee. I don't want to hear none of that. If Alabama do they thing, I think we're going to put the SEC back to the map. And I think we have a good chance of contending for the national championship. I don't care what nobody says.
Me too.
If the guys keep progressing, and Coach, Mo Linguist, he's not talked about a lot. Do you think we'll have him for the next few years? He's a sneakily good coach. He's quiet up there. Do you think he'll hang around?
I don't know. I don't know what neck of the woods. And don't take this the wrong way, but Mo is a hot commodity. You got to think we got him. We got him as he was a head coach at Buffalo, and came to Alabama knowing that he was going to have some level of input with defensive scheme and play calling. Him and Ken Womack are kind of like a match made in heaven. What you got from Saban and Kirby, the way that they bring concepts and ideas together from each level. And I think what you're waiting to see evolve is kind of like what Coach Saban had from Bo Davis early on at the D-line. That synergy between all three levels. Chuck Morrell is a great defensive mind too. But you look at some of the defensive staffers that we got as analysts, off-field analysts. There's a lot of great minds in the defensive room. So, but Coach Mo is a high commodity. Do I think he sticks around for a couple of years? I think we got another year, 2 years. I think he's formed some relationships with future recruits. And Kane Womack probably being the first one out the door from the staff as far as getting a high time or like a marquee job. I think if Womack is pulled away, I think Mo is the first one up as the D coordinator, head defensive coordinator. Just because I don't think Freddie Roach is going to be pulled in as a play caller anytime soon. Maybe an associate head coach or maybe an associate defensive coordinator, but as far as a play caller, I think Mo is your guy up on that defensive side of the ball.
And your wisdom and knowledge on it is so in depth. I think you're right too. And then I was thinking about this while you were talking. I'm already like looking at the recruiting. Like I look at the recruiting and man, Alabama's still recruiting defensive back. Like, I mean, it's some great defensive backs out there, man. 4 and 5 stars, and I know I'm not a star type of guy, even though I was one myself, but Alabama is still hitting it hard in recruiting. See, the success of a football team, and I know you know this, the success of a football team, it ain't just, it's what you do administratively. Yeah. And I think Kaylin Debor is a great administrator. He handles the press well. He's a great administrator. In other words, he has a great balance of a program. Yeah. And I'm looking at him building it. I'm looking at what he's doing off the field. And what he's doing off the field is very consistent. I mean, the dude is working extremely hard on the recruiting trail, man. Yeah. They are everywhere.
I think the highlight of it is that he's forcing his staff to do their job, right? He's not a micromanager. I won't necessarily say micromanager, but Coach Saban ran a tight ship, right? That's something that everybody knows. But Kaylin Debor forced you to do your job at the University of Alabama. You know what comes along with that. If you took the job, you should have had a good idea of what that means, right? You should have a good idea. There's a standard, and you can be easily replaced. Everybody's looking for that opportunity, that Alabama opportunity. So I think he's kind of forced that onto them and gotten guys who are up for the challenge, right? I think Courtney Morgan loves this GM position at Bama because he's up for the challenge. He's done some great things at other organizations, to be at the top and to continue to press the ceiling, right? Set the standard. That's a challenge in itself when it comes to recruiting, and to reset the bar for the GM position in college football. What better place to do it than at the spot where, okay, they already got good guys. Can I get more good guys in here? That's what I think the challenge is with the staff, and I think they're handling it well. Final thought, Shep, as we get ready to open the phone line back up. Phone line opening back up here after the phone call with Shep, y'all. 334-665-1121. Call in, say your name, and put me in the game with Coach Smook. Don't forget also supporting autism awareness this month, y'all. Don't forget to donate to support directly in the description, but also you can donate directly to Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. All of our proceeds every month goes towards autism awareness. So, but Shep, final thoughts, man.
Oh yeah, final thoughts is of course John Russell. In that quarterback stance. I think Keelan did what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to do that. He's supposed to do that. I think both quarterbacks in the situation that was given to them, I think both of them had a good showing. But I said on the call, I said, Keelan gonna have to do what you really can't coach him to do. Yeah, I said, and he did that. He put the ball in some tight spaces. That's why Ryan Smith had a video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Certain things you just cannot coach. The dude just, God just gave him some stuff that you just cannot coach.
Right.
And do you credit the coaching staff for? No, you credit the coaching staff for going to recruit him, of course. But if you know what I'm saying, I also came back and said, I don't know if Bama can go wrong with either one of them. My thing with Mr. Keelan Russell, because Keelan Russell kind of reminds me of the quarterback that's in Texas A&M. I think that dude in Texas A&M probably a little bit bigger, and he could be a little bit tougher. The guy at Texas A&M seemed to, he seemed to kind of run a little more than, but they kind of got kind of about the same upside. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing with Keelan was, as Alabama, charges down the stretch of the season, week 7, week 8, if we protect him, we got a great shot. Mm-hmm. But if Keelan, right, if Alabama protects him, we got a great shot. Like, it's all to do. Alabama got a great shot. So my concern was with his frame. He's about 6'3". I think he's about 190, 190, somewhere right in there.
195. That's perfect size for a quarterback. What are we talking about?
It's perfect size. It is. Yeah, I'm not questioning it. It's perfect size for a quarterback, but if people go to thump it on him a little bit, how will he hold up? And that's
we saw Jaden Daniels, same frame and a lot more nimble, right? Fragile. We saw him endure the SEC, right, for 2 seasons, in a similar style offense where his legs were an asset that second year because they had to be. But that first year when he put himself on the map, and I'm getting and Marcel Reed, to me, I don't think Marcel Reed is the same style of quarterback. He was more his legs really create his growth, right? And he's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit smaller than Keelan. But at 6'1", 185, I feel like if he could handle it like that last season, I think Keelan Russell can have just as much success too.
Absolutely. And again, like I was saying, I think Jaden Daniels was a little bit more twitchier than Keelan. Jaden Daniels just had a twitch. He just had a twitch about it. By the time you got to him, that ball was gone. And if you hit him, you're gonna get a 15-yard flag for it. But I think Keelan is a little bit more smoother.
Right.
He's finessier. Right. And I think he's gonna be okay. He'll keep Alabama line, do what they supposed to do, and protect them in the pocket. I think Alabama can win with Keelan Russell.
100%.
Thank you, Coach.
100%, man. Roll Tide, man. Y'all give it up for my brother Shep, man. Always bringing the heat. On the call-in segment, man. Appreciate you, Shep.
You too, Coach.
All right, man. Yes, sir. Roll Tide, man. Y'all give it up. Y'all know I love giving y'all the floor on these phone call segments, man, because y'all say some hot stuff, and I'm just back here jotting down notes. This year, I will be able to provide some fact checks, right? Some of y'all takes. But Shep was a great call. Let's get this next call in.
Call from Zach Willie.
Yo, what's up, Zach? In the game with Coach Smook. What's up, man? Talk to me. Y'all give it up for Zach, y'all.
Road Tide, Coach Smook, and my AAA family. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing pretty good, Zach. How you feeling this morning, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm still a little sore from Saturday, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
You say you a little sore, Zach?
Yeah. I'm not used to standing for as long as I did, you know, and anytime I walk the steps at Bryant Denny, I get sore the next day because those steps ain't made for
Hey,
made for.
what I told you, I said I gotta kick off go ahead and launch the Coach Smook off-season fitness program. For the amount of games we're gonna be having this season that we're gonna attend, we got to get our fans in shape. So if y'all want to get in shape, man, to be prepared to walk the campus, right? Y'all rock with me. Tap in on my TikTok. Tap in on the Discord. We're gonna create a channel. I'm gonna actually start doing some sessions, virtual sessions. We're gonna provide some fitness services for our community, and I'm not joking, y'all. Like that's something that I think that more people should do, man. We got a lot of listen.
Right.
Tell them, Zach. It was a few people passed out in that heat, man. They weren't prepared to walk around. So fitness is everything. You can't cheer for the Crimson Tide. That you can't affect the opposing offenses if you passed out by the time you get to your seat. So get yourselves fit, get healthy. That don't mean you got to be 6-pack and all this stuff. You got to be healthy. Get a move. If something go crazy, I don't want to have to stop to pull you around or, you know what I'm saying, carry your own weight. Pull your own weight. Get the safety. But Zach, final takeaways and things from the scrimmage, and were you satisfied? That's the topic of conversation. Were you satisfied with the showing from the Crimson Tide A-Day, Alabama A-Day game? Talk to me, Zach.
Yes. From a spring game perspective, I was satisfied. We still got some things that we got to work on, obviously. But overall, I think we've seen everything that we needed to see this team take the right steps.
Right.
You know, D-line, I'm not worried about. Offensive line, we're still finding our cohesiveness, you know, with and all that, which is expected with as many new guys that we brought in as we did. That's expected, you know.
Yep.
But the secondary played great. The D-line played great. You know, Kaylin was just putting the ball where it needed to be to have for the receivers to make plays. You know, contested throws.
Right.
It was contested, but Kaylin just was doing everything right. You know, and putting it where it needed to be, where the receiver could make plays.
Right.
And, the run game, I would like to see the run game continue to take steps. We've seen some good run plays from our running backs. We've seen some good plays, utilizing them out of the backfield, you know, but I need to continue to see them taking steps, you know.
Thanks.
But yeah, that D-line is nasty, boy. Nasty.
Well, I tell you, and see, Zach, I think, and you can speak on it, because I wish Big Homie could call in. We had a good conversation, and I was like, it's funny. He was like, man, Smook. He said, you know, I ain't go fluff, but it was like it's funny how everything you were kind of reporting, and saying, a lot of people was questioning it. And then you show up today and it's like, man, if people would just tune in to the show and listen to you without judging or trying to put you in this box of how you should present your information, they would have showed up and been very satisfied at what was displayed. Because I think I was really close Based off of what I saw from the second scrimmage, I think I was real close to how this scrimmage would kind of turn out. And like you saw, man, everything that we kind of predicted and was telling and reporting, from what we was hearing, from what our sources said, from what we was able to watch live with our own 2 eyes, 4 eyes, however you want to talk about them, it transpired. What was it like being there live and really like in it, Zach? Tell everybody what the experience was being there live and in it. I really think we was just on camera in that shot.
Yeah, it was awesome to get to be there, cause you know, we was down on field level just behind the end zone, so we was set up in a perfect spot to watch how everything developed and everything. And I'm gonna say this. I gotta tell the chat about this. Me and you, we were sitting there, and you said it. Austin was late, and when Dre had that interception, we both looked at each other. It was like we should have got that on film, and we was kicking ourselves for not getting
That was a moment because I was calling it, and you know what was funny? And I think Zach has been around me before during the game, but I think that Georgia game I wasn't as coach mode because I was a little out of it. Yeah, it was some things being passed around, some beverages, adult beverages that were not contributing to my coherentness, I think is what the word would be. But yeah. But yeah, so but yesterday it was a lot of interactions. I mean Saturday, where I was just kind of seeing things and I was kind of calling things out like, hey, all right, this is what I would do. Right. And even with the run plays, the play selection, I was really close. And it feels good to be in that space because the very thing that I thought Mac was struggling with last year is the same thing that Ty Simpson struggled with, is the same thing that Milroe struggled with. Being able to throw guys into open windows. Where did all the explosive plays happen in the past game? Not who, but where? They happened when guys got thrown open. Nobody was wide open and had to wait on the pass. All the big pass plays that happened in the game, guys were being thrown open. And that's something that Max struggled with. Russell, man, that's something. It does it on the move, does it from a clean pocket, does it with pressure in his face. So what are we even talking about when it comes to that? But it was good to be calling out some of that stuff and to be there live, like you said, on that level. I was glad that they were coming towards our end zone when Russell was out there because I really wanted to get an up close look with him in that first team and that second drive where he scored in our end zone. That's the one where I was like, okay, this young man, he's really, it's not just my fandom anymore, my bias being there because of what I've seen in person at the high school level or what I've been able to, but I see him like literally handling it. And the crowd was smaller for A-Day. The crowd was smaller for what we know for A-Day, but it's still, I think the moment was really affecting Austin Mack for the most part.
Right. And you could see how Russell was taking command of the huddle because there was a clip that we had, and it was a delayed game, but that was because he didn't have a play clock.
I was trying to see. Was it actually one on the play? Was it a play clock up there? If anybody else was there, I can't find any footage to confirm or deny, but if that was the case, like the fact that he doesn't have a visual aid in that situation, I get it. Mr. B.A. to you. What's good, family? Tapping in over there on TikTok. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. Make sure you pull up on the YouTube side for me. Pearl. Appreciate my girl Pearl for tapping in. Y'all, hey, can I tell a funny story real quick, Zach? Because I think you'll enjoy this one too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're in the moment, right? We're in the moment at the game at A-Day, right? And I see Houston Mallet off to the side, and I'm like, I look at Zach and I said, "Is that Houston?" It was like, "Yeah." And Zach, I want y'all to understand, Zach is brutally honest, right? He's not going to lie. So if I ever fluff up a story or something, Zach check me. So I turned around and said, "Are you Houston Mallet?" He was like, "Yeah." And I kind of pulled my hat back. I was like, "Hey, bro, it's me." And like he was like, "Oh," and we dapped each other up. I was like, "You mind if I get a picture?" He's like, "Yeah." And so I don't know if y'all remember the interaction with myself and the men's basketball team from before the season, but he was one of the guys that I got to talk to on the side, um, and was kind of talking about some of the preseason or the future season projections before they kicked off this season. And he kind of remembered me from that interaction. But when he stood up, he was on a level above me, and I was like, "Wait, bro, you was not that much taller than me." And I said, I need you to come down because everybody already think I'm short from the show. And so he came down and we got the picture in, man. And I hear somebody say, "I want a picture too." And I'm thinking they talking to Houston, right? He's the celebrity there. I'm thinking they talking to Houston. And I turn and I look, and I ain't gonna tell you all the thoughts that with my head, right? But I turn and I look, I was like, "I want a picture too," you know. And I got a good picture in. And it was a funny picture, but I gained some love, man. I gained some subscribers. We got a community growing. But that moment, I won't ever forget that moment because the moment, it was like a movie. Zach, wasn't it like a movie? Wasn't it like a movie?
It was, man. But yeah, I gotta tell the story about Coach Womack again.
Oh yeah, do that. Hey,
was-
yeah. Oh, and then we gonna open the phone lines back up after this, Zach, because this was a moment. Let me turn the music on for Zach on this one, y'all. Let me turn the music on, and I'm gonna try to find the clip real quick while we here. Go ahead, Zach. Tell the story, bro.
Yeah. So me, Coach, and Big Homie, we walk in the stadium, you know, to get some clips of them warming up and all that. And as we walk in, we see Coach Womack signing autographs for some kids, you know. And we walk out, we're like, "Hey, Coach Womack, can you sign our football?" He's like, "Yeah." And so he gets done signing autographs for the kids, and he signs our football. And I was like, "Hey, Coach Womack, we appreciate you." And Roll Tide, and I give him a fist bump, and Coach looks at me, he's like, "You okay, Zach?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm kind of excited, nervous, you know, because that's my first time having an interaction with a coach, you know, and so and so we kind of walk off. You know, he's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, man."
Hey, I had to check on my boy, man. My boy Zach, he was in the trends, y'all. It was a moment, and I told y'all, like, for me, it was a growth moment for me also, because one, and Big Homie will tell you, or anybody that's did have to done field work with me, I move around like I'm not wasting steps. You know, I may stop for a second, and I'm mapping it out visually, right, mentally, and I'm trying to make the next big move, the next big step to continue to bring that content to us. But here's the clip right here. I think I could upload it here. Hold on, Zach. I'm gonna post it. I'm about to pull it up right now. All right, y'all, check this out, and then we're gonna let Zach get his final thoughts in. Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh, really? Yeah, they send me about 3 or 4. Appreciate you, Coach Womack. Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, brother. Y'all give it up for my boy Zach, man. My boy Zach was hype. He said, "Roll Tide, brother." That's my boy, man. I that was a good moment for me. Zach, final thoughts, man. Final thoughts as we get ready to open this phone line up. Y'all, we got time for one more phone call. Make sure y'all call in 334-625-1121. Share your thoughts here on the Coach Smook Network. Zach, final thoughts, man.
Yeah. My final thoughts is, guys, just continue to take steps to get prepared for the season. Continue to improve. Go out there, work hard, continue to do y'all thing, and roll tide.
100%. Give it up for Zach, y'all, as we go into this next. Okay, I thought we had one on wait. Appreciate you, Zach. Roll Tide, my buddy. And yeah, give it up for Zach again, y'all. Give it up for Zach. Real quick, before we continue, let's get into the comments. Mary J, I want to talk to the comments. Jordan, I did up on you. He did not expect me to put up on him like the way we did. That got to see us in ninja mode. You know what I'm saying? Ninja mode. Ninja. N-I-N-J-A. Real life ninja. Not the emoji. Like y'all be trying to use it. We not ninja mode. I seen him. I spotted him. I ain't even have my glasses on and I seen him. So you know I was locked in. And then who else? We seen a few more people. Throughout the community. Not Antonio Snell, another Antonio. He says he watches the show. I remember your name, that interaction. Miss Marianne, I remember you too. Miss Marianne, I think that was her name. And we met Miss Evelyn. We met Auntie. I forget Auntie name, but she was hype. We had a lot of good interactions, y'all. And we also met some haters too, y'all. We met some people that knew who we was, and they act like they didn't. They act like they didn't know until we started talking. And it's like, yeah. You know, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Phone line is open, 334-625-1121. What's up, Mary J? I see you in the back. Are you clicking stuff too? You active this morning? Be watching front and back. What we got? Appreciate y'all for tapping in once again. Let's go to a quick infomercial break, and then once we get back, we want to take one more phone call, and then we'll do our final thought here on the Coach Smook Network, and then we'll get off live, man. We'll and tap in tonight. We got a call-in show tonight. The topic of the conversation tonight is going to do hot takes. I want y'all to come in with the hot takes. All the fan hype that you got from the spring game, all that hype you got, that energy you got, I don't care. It could be far-fetched. It could be out there. You deserve it. You had to endure off-season without college football. Our first taste of some active college football was our spring game. So we got the right to make crazy projections and hope for the right. We got a right to do that. So once we get back from the break, we'll dive into that and give you all the opportunity to share your thoughts tonight. We'll share your thoughts tonight on that. But if you're not a member of the AAA family, take an opportunity to join, man. I'm telling y'all, become a member on the YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe to the channel, but to be a member, small little piece of change helps the network grow. Plus, you get inside scoop. Now, this off season, we got a content series that I'm only going to make available for my members for a certain amount of time. It'll be available for members for like a 48-hour time period. And this will be stuff that you want to be ahead of. We got some 2027 and 28 Alabama early 28 commits and some 27 current commits that we're going to be collabing with. And I'm telling you, the way that we collab is you're not going to get this from anybody. Nobody wants to do this. But you want me to tell you why? Because we'll talk about it when we come back. Join the AAA family and we'll get into it after this, all right?
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Hold on 1 second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out nfldraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
At Walk-On's Sports Bistro, the games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk-On Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites, Walk-On's is your go-to for good times, craft beer and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online or in the app. Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Game on.
Put me in a game, Coach Smook. Put me in a game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in a game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in a game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
All right, y'all. One last call. We got time for one more call, and then we're going to get out of here with our final thoughts and get y'all on with y'all day, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Again, we do have an earlier start, morning start time, kickoff time now for the morning calling segment. Mondays and Fridays will be at 6:30 a.m. We'll kick off the show that first hour. We'll break down. We'll talk. I'll talk. Y'all respond in the chat. Then we want to try to get the phone lines open for like 30, 45 minutes. We close the show out, 2.5 hour show, real live morning show. Depending on the pickup, man, we might have to start doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then if it continues to grow, because of y'all sharing, liking and sharing, which I need y'all to do right now. Go ahead and like and share. If you've already shared one time, share again. It don't hurt. It don't hurt. It definitely helps and continues to help us grow, because that's all we're trying to do. Just trying to grow. Here on the Coach Smook Network, we ain't trying to prove nobody wrong. We just want to project and give y'all the information that we get. That's what y'all come here for, right? Take time out your day. It's a free show. You can subscribe for free, and you take time. Your time is not to be wasted. So we want to try to get y'all quality information and insight and perspective on Alabama football. Yo, my brother, what's up, Sully? Good to see you in the chat again, man. Listen, I can't wait to get up to Atlanta to see my new nephew, man. We got a new member of the AAA family. I can't wait to get up there to see him, man. I know you were excited to get the the Coach Smook Network insight and reports from the scrimmage. A lot of hype coming out of that. We got time for one more call. 334-625-1121. Again, that's 334-625-1121. Call in, say your name. And while we're there waiting for a phone call, and like I said, I like to prompt everybody. We always do this. I have my normal callers. Some call in the morning, some call in the evening. You don't have to be a featured caller to call in. It's an open phone line. 1, 2. Calling in, you don't have to know everything about football. That's the point. We want to have a conversation. We want to create conversation around our Alabama Crimson Tide in the way that we see the game. And sometimes that results in debate. Sometimes it results in difference of opinion. But I promise you, this is a safe space. And I love to create content, so you never know what you might have to say or what you're thinking, right? Maybe something that could create thoughts for the rest of the fan base. We have a lot of interactions on Twitter. A lot of Twitter people on Twitter say they don't watch the content, but when we have hot takes or we make real bold projections or statements, we get a lot of responses, right? I would love for those people to respond live or on the phone line, because at some point, the trolling and stuff, you got to be held accountable for it. And at some point, it's no longer trolling. At some point, your lack of knowledge for the game compared to what we do over here is not the same. And it's okay. You can learn. We can learn from each other. I have to slow down and remember, I'm not talking to football coaches all the time. I'm not talking to people that played the game of football or were in between the lines, or have that experience of play calling, all of that. So I have a perspective, and then my coaching style and the way that I perceive things isn't the only right way. So I love to create those conversations, especially when it comes from a fan perspective. And make sure your emotions are not tied to your takes, man. It's just football. It's something you can't even control, right? But the way you think about it, you can't control that. So keep your emotions in check when you're on the phone line, and we can have fun. It gets spicy. It will get spicy sometimes, and we'll have some good conversations. But for the most part, we just want to have some good talk, some good conversations here about our Crimson Tide. So no phone calls on the phone line, which is cool. We had our 2 hot callers for this morning. Zach and Shep, appreciate y'all for calling in and doing y'all thing and contributing to what the Coach Smook Network does. And so we're going to go ahead and give our final thought. We're going to give our final takes here on the Coach Smook Network. And I'm glad that you all were able to tap in at the time that you did. How many likes we got on the stream? 38 likes. 39. We need one more to hit 40, and that'll be a solid goal. We've crushed our goal of 25 likes. Thank y'all for killing our 25 like goal on the live this morning. And we got a lot of viewers between our platforms, 83 total between all platforms, and everybody checking in from each platform. If you can provide reactions, please do so. That's Facebook, TikTok, and I think it's only, I think if you're on YouTube mobile, you can provide a reaction. But regardless, appreciate you all for providing the reaction. So my final thoughts, Alabama's final scrimmage and what it brought, right? We know that they'll be at practice tomorrow. And because of that, I think because of some things we have to handle this week, Thursday, we're definitely going to be able to be there, but I may make that trip Tuesday and see what we can get accomplished as far as insight and coverage for the AAA family and the Coach Smook Network community. Being that those are going to be those type of practices, members only. Yep. So if you want to get some insight on that, join the members only. And I probably won't set that coverage and everything that we get from that. I won't set that to be available for the public for like a week. Members, I'm really going to honor you guys supporting the Coach Smook Network this year. I have to admit, I have not been able to be in a space to where I can direct the attention to divide the content up. But as we continue to build the team members, I'm able to trust some people to stay consistent, right? And now we're developing a workflow. So members, your content, it'll be a lot more raw, less edit, but it's going to be a lot more insight and behind the scenes type of thing. So if you all want that, support your boy. And we're not asking for no crazy amounts. The channel I used to work for when I first got back to Alabama, the amount to me was a lot. For the amount of subscribers that channel had, you could have did 99 cents and still been making out very well with the way that the type of coverage and things that we type of staff coverage we was providing when the staff first came over. I love when these guys try to act like they such insiders, and when something happened, they were supposed to be in the know. Man, just admit you a fan, bro. And it's fine. It's fine. Everybody ain't graced for this, right? I'm glad that he chose us. When I say he, I'm talking about the Lord. You'll give me 40. My partner Big Bama's in the chat. We have 41 likes on the stream. Appreciate y'all for that, tapping the screen and hitting that free like button. Appreciate you, ready to rock, man. I wish I could have got you on that phone line. If you want to jump on real quick, man, it's open 334-625. I still got it open. I wish I could have got your thoughts on the phone lines. We got you in the other day, but now I know with a little bit of time to digest and everything. And we got to get some more of the old HOC crew. I know they've some have disbanded and on their own spaces and stuff, but I know y'all still talk. And we got to start getting some of those guys on the phone lines, because a lot of things that I see them post from their evaluations, comedic approaches sometimes, but they have some substance to it. And I would love to have those on the phone line. So I'm gonna leave it open for the final thoughts. If you want to tap in, anybody, for a quick little, I know everybody ain't long-winded like myself and some of our other callers, but a 2-minute call to just share your thoughts would be cool. And the topic, Mary J, I don't know if you see it, go ahead and flash it on the screen for them. Topic is, are you satisfied with the showing from Alabama's A-Day scrimmage? Did you see enough to come away with a good perspective? Because tonight the call-in topic is going to be, we're going to do some hot takes and bold predictions. Hot takes and bold predictions. We're going to get into it, and I'm gonna put some things on the line, man, and I'm gonna put my bottom dollar on it. I bet my bottom dollar on a lot of things, and I'm gonna give y'all the opportunity to do the same on the phone lines, and we're gonna have some fun with it and create some realistic conversations and topics, because Zach made a claim the other day. Shep made a claim about his dream, him and Martin Luther King having dreams about the quarterback position. So it's going to be a good topic of conversation tonight. Get on the phone lines and share your thoughts. And we want to make it another lengthy show, 2.5 hours. We want to try to get that in tonight. Get our late night call-in vibes back. The Coach Smook Network is back, y'all. We appreciate you all for supporting. And I think going forward this offseason, we're going to provide y'all some very informative and creative content, some insightful things to keep you engaged. With all of the connections and network connections that God is allowing us to establish, I can't wait to see this thing fully developed and flowing like we desire it to be, based off the vision that he's given us. So once again, I appreciate each and every one of you all. And remember, y'all, we got a lot of things going. Make sure you got your notifications on for all the content. We don't want y'all to miss anything. And once again, shout out to our new sponsors. Our new sponsor, Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama. We appreciate you for supporting the Coach Smook Network. He was able to make a presence during our on-site coverage for the A-Day scrimmage. We're going to clip some of that so we can get the voiceover information and all of the things that Farmers Insurance provides and what he specializes in as far as getting our community informed and covered, insured. Very important. Can't thrive without insurance. Got to protect everything. And then also our proud sponsor and partnership with First Place Barbering of Montgomery, Alabama. We appreciate them. Kelsey Shep and the gang. They're going to be able to get you tight. You get right when you come to Montgomery, Alabama. Stop by there. We got a few barbershops in Montgomery, Alabama, where we're going to be able to partner with, and we're trying to create a whole coalition of just quality services. And me being a young African American in this country, supporting solid Black businesses, Black owned businesses is an agenda that I'm going to continue to push, and supporting the community in general. Bettering our communities is the biggest thing. So I'm going to help by providing a platform, by promoting quality establishments like the ones that have sponsored. And of course, our partnerships with all of our other sponsors. We appreciate y'all for y'all contributions to the Coach Smook Network. But most of all, the AAA family, man. Without y'all, we ain't doing none of this. We ain't got nothing going without the viewers, the live viewers that come in and support every day and make sure that our chat is full of comments and interactions and all of that. The donations, the Cash Apps, the PayPals, the Venmos, they're very much appreciated. And everything you seen change. Y'all see we up in the skybox now. We moving on up, chat. We moving on up. I like making people mad like that. This is our world, man. You know what I'm saying? This is our safe space. What's up, Shrimp? My Shrimp is in the chat. That's my little sister, y'all. Appreciate you for tapping in with our trademark year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all see we moving on up. We up in the sky. Sky Ride Studio. You know what I'm saying? This turf right here, this carpet right here, it's real like turf right here, man. Can't. This turf. This like what they got on the field. As a matter of fact, my partner, my new partner, he's one of the field managers, right? He gave me this turf. This is used turf from last season. And the matchup against was that Wisconsin? Yeah, when they was ripping that turf up from the corner of the end zone, this is that. Come check it. Check the DNA. Pull a strip. I'm just saying. But nah, shout out to everybody in the chat that's supporting, man. We want to continue to grow. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. And once again, man, I'm your host, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality, Coach Smook. And remember, y'all, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. You got to say it with some love. Say put me in the game, Coach Smook. I appreciate y'all for tapping in today. Y'all be blessed. And hey, today is Monday, man. Start the week off strong. Start it off right. Show somebody some love, man. It don't hurt to show some love. And I mean some genuine love. Have somebody up, speak to somebody. Tell somebody they look nice today. Encourage somebody. Hey, it's a beautiful day. Enjoy it. Love you guys. Roll Tide to my Alabama AAA family. Much love to all of our AAA family, our supporters everywhere. Thank you, and y'all be blessed. Catch you on the next one.
My bones, crimson in my veins, talking Bama in the microphone. Look me up on YouTube. True cut straight from the stone. Ain't no selling dairy tales. I'm exposing what they want. Alabama football, yeah, I live it, yeah, I bleed it from the streets to the bleachers, every angle, yeah, I see your film study so militant. I ain't guessing a thing. Break it down, every snap is like a coach in the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep the dough off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, Coach Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.